I still haven't gotten used to the fact that the camera can like do this. I think this is insane. Today, I thought a lot about the filler word sort of, in that I think it should be abolished. You never sort of do things, you just do them. I feel like it's a fundamentally different category than the filler word like. It's just useless and it is redundant, and also like it doesn't really serve any purpose. Not that the filler word has to serve a purpose, but like it just doesn't do anything. And I find that incredibly frustrating, because today I went to one of my classes and it was a good class. I'm actually super excited about it. The prof just like kept using the filler word sort of, and that reminded me of one of my coworkers from the summer who would use that a lot, and he like wasn't the best person. And I feel like I inherently associate that word with that said coworker. I don't know. Yeah. So I'm glad I got that out of my system. And today I thought a lot about like notions of exclusivity, and how weird of an experiment all of this is. I'm not talking about the video project. I'm talking about like selective colleges in general. I go to a relatively selective school, and people definitely had to like jump through a couple hoops, some more than others. I'm not claiming that I like had to do the most to get here, because at the end of the day, I went to school. Like I went to school abroad. It was still a school known for regularly sending kids overseas, regularly sending kids to schools like the school I'm going to. And there's definitely like people for whom that wasn't their reality. So I'm not claiming that. Okay, I don't want to make any disclaimers. But what I mean to say is, who thought that it was a good idea to put that many kids who've received so much external validation, whether for like athletics or academics or both, like in one place, and have them sort of just like figure things out? And people's like stress response is really interesting to me, because in high school, I was definitely externally validated, not only by like my family, but also like friends, like teachers. Like it was the fact that I was good at schooling was a thing, and it was an external motivator for me. But I think it took me up until college to realize that like not only isn't the like, it doesn't have to define me, is what I'm saying. It is just something I do, and it's not something I am, but I was made to internalize that it was. I was made to internalize that being like school smart was, why am I doing this? Being school smart was an inherent quality of mine. Coming back to my point, it's such a weird experiment to put all those kids who were told that they were special in some way together, only for them to realize that they are special in very, very similar ways, and what made them special their entire lives is what converges all of them in being a college student at a relatively selective school. People's responses to that is interesting. I definitely had a difficult time like reasoning about that, being like, I think I was used to being maybe not the smartest person in the room, but definitely being well regarded as a smart person in the room. And then suddenly I was in rooms with smart people. Like, yeah. And that was just my definitive truth when it comes to college. And I chose to react in a particular way, in that hi Joe.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Are you recording your thing?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
I
love the shirt.
Oh yeah, I got a rep.
Yes. See ya.
See ya.
yeah, and I feel like I, in a way, got to thinking about like how I could differentiate myself, but like why is that even necessary? Why do I have to have edges or like be different or be bringing something different to the table to be considered like a worthy individual of having at the table to begin with? That's a separate thing. But also some people just choose to carry forward that like assumption that they're the smartest person in the room. And I feel like being in an environment like a college makes them really, really insecure about that external motivation that they've received their entire lives. So they double down on it. They make statements to prove to others, also to themselves, more so to themselves than others, that they are a smart person. But that's a given. Like, what else? Like, who are you besides that? And I feel like people have varying levels or like varying tendencies or leniencies to like even want to explore that side of them. And I find that fascinating. How this relates to my class of the day is basically like, there were a couple people who would kind of just like use weird jargon to like sound well studied in that field. And I just don't get the appeal of that. I feel like the people who can truly like communicate things in a way that makes sense to their audience, like tailor to their audience, tend to be the best people to have in the room. Maybe like, I don't want to say like the smartest, the most like educated and whatever. Just like I enjoy those people's company. And I feel like I definitely have a long way to go. But at the same time, that's something I aspire to embodying more. I want to be able to explain concepts in a way that like makes sense for my audience. I just don't like resorting to isms, and I find it really, really like annoying when people do. But sometimes jargon is necessary, given like, again, your circle. Like, I had a meeting with my thesis advisor. With him, I'm obviously going to use jargon because it's established that he gets it. But I just don't get the appeal of doing that in a classroom setting, your first day of classes. Like, I'm not gonna remember that, or like, at best, I'm not gonna remember that. At worst, I'm just gonna make fun of you. Which like is mean, but also it is my truth. I don't know. I feel like I don't get a kick out of making fun of people, but at the same time, once it's out there, I find it very, very difficult not to make fun of people who try to prove to others and themselves, more so to themselves, that they are smart. Yeah. Also, I assume that there's like a lot of social alienation that people bring to college, just by nature of like being like well regarded as a good student. Like personally, I brought that with me into college probably, but everyone seems to shed those layers, which is great. But at the same time, why are we trying to make everything seem effortless? Why is it like an obnoxious thing to say that you put a lot of effort into things? Why is it more worthy of recognition when you like posit something as a no-brainer? I don't know. These are just things I'm thinking about. Let's see. What else did I think about today? Dining hall food. I thought I missed it because I hated cooking. In that I didn't even cook. I mostly like ordered takeout, which is bad for me. But I thought I like missed dining food. I'm really grateful that I have like a stable source of food. But at the same time, seeing everyone at the dining hall and like having to say hi to multiple people at once is like soul sucking sometimes. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I'm going to a friend of mine's birthday party after this in like 30 minutes. And I'm excited. And it's already 10 minutes, so see you tomorrow. Yeah, bye.